At the edge of the city, the Middle-Tisza region's botanical shelter, the Sunday Meadow. When Paul Kitaible came to Szolnok in 1798, he would have seen water-covered marshlands in most parts of the year, in case of he could have got to the Sunday Water Meadow. Before the Tisza River's water controlling, the area was surrounded by the Tisza's overgrown wreath. In 1846, the Széchenyi Vásárhelyi water controlling program began, which was created for controlling the river Tisza. Szolnok was also included in the program as they cut the river from the area. The Sunday Meadow belongs to Szolnok and it's located south from the city between the Tisza and the Tisza backwater. The area is covered by two types of vegetation, grassy marsh meadow at the deeper parts and steppe meadow at the higher parts. To the end of the 1970s, the meadow was used for cattle grazing, but when industrialization was started in Szolnok, fewer people were to have cattle. Later on, owning a big amount of cattle was banned, and the area was not used for grazing anymore. A few years later, the meadow was started functioning as an airstrip. In the 1990s, a big change came to the meadow's life, because with a new dam, they blocked the water from the area, and also a new road was built next to the meadow, and at the northern part, which is close to the city, several supermarkets were built. After that, the meadow became dry, and bird species disappeared from the area, such as the black-tailed godwit, the common redshank, and the corncrake, which are the typical nesters of the fresh marsh meadows. Thankfully, the bigger part of the meadow remained an airstrip, so companies could not build any further supermarkets in here. This usage gave the possibility to survive for the endangered and rare species of the Great Plain. It caused the big biodiversity of the Sunday Meadow. If we go to the meadow to look around, someone would only see heath and emptiness, but that's not true. At the level of our foot, we can discover a stunning richness of species. We can see festucas, which is a special kind of grass, and so soft that you can even walk on it by barefoot. The blossoming Clematis integrifolia is one of the most spectacular plants of the meadow with its violet petals. Here we can find the biggest colony of this in this Middle-Tisza region, and it's about 10 million plants. I also made some measurement to demonstrate how big this colony is. On the left, we can see where I found the least amount of integrifolias, and it's 34. On the right, we can see the place where I found the most, and it's 42. As we can see, this is a pretty big number for a little meadow like this. The Filderingho, the Ranunculus acris, the Thalictrum lucidum, and Gallium boreali are the best known plants of the meadow. However, the most beautiful ones are the Gratiola officinalis, Viola pumila, and Iris spuria. Interesting fairy rings can be seen all around. As we know, the mycelium gives the darker color of the vegetation in the circles, and the most common species we can find in the circles is the field mushroom. We can see it right there. Not only the plants, but also the animals give the enormous richness of the meadow. If we walk on the meadow, we can hear the Eurasian skylark singing happily. We can see the common kestrel and the common buzzard circling and hunting for the common vole or other rodents. If we look around the meadow, we can see western jackdaw and common starling in the trees, but sometimes Montagu's harrier nests in the area. This is the common western jackdaw, and that was the common starling. Many endangering factors treat the enormous rich flora of the meadow. First of all, here is the too early reaping, which causes less seeds for the endangered and rare species. But, however, the reaping is very useful for keeping away the weed, because without doing the reaping yearly, many of the unique species will disappear. Another danger is the invasive false indigo bush, which can be seen in large groups near the meadow. And also, the important thing is, since the area is cut away from the water, it only gets water from the rain, and in the driest month, the plants can't get enough water. This is why the marsh gentian is disappearing. Only 12 and 20 items of them can be found from 15,000. In my opinion, the Sunday Meadow should have become defended because of the rare and protected species. We should take care of the values of our nation. If we don't supervise them, they will be lost, and we will not have a chance to recover. This is why we should look after the environment. I'm sure we have to keep the Sunday Meadow as a shelter of many Hungarian species. And my greatest appreciation for the help to Borosné Marek Slavia and Sándor Urban for the pictures. Thank you very much.